live on 9/15/2020. Today we'll be playing some EverQuest. This is episode 46, and we'll be continuing on with our grind on getting AA levels and experience, as well as any gear we can possibly get. As again, we're going to the Bastion of Thunder for our daily, which is about common for about a month, and then we move on to another area very soon. So I'm looking forward to see where they're going to take us. This weekend I'm planning on probably roaming around a bit and trying to figure out some places to hunt other than the Temple of Bastion, so that we can have a little more fun and see some new scenery. So we'll see what we can do. Probably hit up another plain zone or something. Other than that, I'm sitting here buffing up my kitty cat, so this way we can get things done. Get it out of the way. Kind of going through and rebuffing myself too. And it's been pretty much a lot of fun lately. I have a new friend on the server who is leveling up a Beastlord as well. I'm kind of excited to see that, and I'm hoping to find some more gear for him so I can just pass it off to him. Generally, I could probably sell that gear and make some good money, but you know, if people are going to come and play on the same server I'm on, and they're willing to do that, you know what? I'm going to help them out any way I can. Buffs, gear, whatnot. A little bit of platinum that I pick up here and there. You know, share the wealth. Because more people that come to this server, the more fun I'll have. Because I know I'll be grouping with them later on. With that being said, let's see. We're just continuing on with our questing and our leveling. I'm looking at possibly doing my epic, depending on whether or not it's still viable. That's actually a really, really good question. I have to check to see with higher level Beastlords to see if it is still a viable weapon to have. With all the changes and leveling up and stuff, it's only viable for certain expansions, from what I remember. But they may have made some changes to where it actually can be more viable in the end. We'll see. Well, anyways, I got the buffs all taken care of. Get the celerity and get the debuff here. Alright, let's go ahead and head over to the temple. Take care of the leveling up. No. Still kind of surprised that a lot of the stuff that you run into literally can block your movement. They're actually, instead of just phase through items and only blockable on the ground level, it's quite interesting. There we go. I went to the wrong side. Drats. Tranquility should be right over here. Yep, there we go. Now, I've been asked many times this question, why don't I use auto grant? Well, I don't use auto grant because of the fact that I kind of find it cheaty. And two, I played EQ back in the day when you actually had to earn everything. So for me, I find it more fun to earn my AAs and to go around to different zones and experiencing a whole bunch of different things than it is to just get, hey, look, I'm level 75. I got 600 AAs that I can get for free. And then just go right into the end game and just be then all and then all. And yeah, the end game is a lot of fun, but I mean, to a certain point, you get everything you need, and then what do you do next? With grinding out your AAs, you have the choice of going to the end game, having some fun with that, and as well as something to work for. So you never really have much, never stop working for. I'm getting certain amounts of AA before I level up to a certain point, and then doing it again. This way, when I hit level 75, I'll have over 600 AA, but I'll still have AA to work on. So it's more of just pacing myself and having fun doing it too. And oh yeah, the levitation that I'm using is not normal for the Beastlord. It's a wand that I have. It's actually pretty fun. Gives 7 hours of levitation, so it's better than my spell that I can cast for a Batwing. So I use that. Also turns me into an undead frogluck. Illusionary magic in this game is fun. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and haste myself. Wow, I fizzled that. There it is. Wow, he's resisting. There we go. Got him. We'll go ahead and hit this to get it going right away. Once we get him down lower, I'll hit Devotion. Let's get Steadfast Servant going. Go ahead and take Taunt off. Double check our buffs. Okay, good. And we do have the snare effect up. Okay, then we'll listen to the Devoted now. There we go. It'll give us a good amount of experience per kill. Fusion of the Faithful. Not sure what that does exactly. I think it gives me a proc buff. Increases your strength, sound, agility, wisdom, intelligence, charisma, and your resistance to magic, cold, fire, and poison by 1,000 points. And your movement speed. Wow! That is brutal. That is actually pretty brutal. Well, now I know what it does. So we're going to pull for these 30 minutes hard and fast. see here. Just checking something real quick. And another TT viewer and Mech Warrior, thank you for the watch. All right. Sorry. When I tab out, it pretty much stops the stream. Doesn't stop the stream, it just stops the viewing of what's going on in the background, which happens to be the game. I have to put it in Windows mode, but the problem is I have to take time to redo all my screen stuff for the Windows mode version, and that takes some time. Because then I had to resize all the windows and everything to fit on the smaller screen that has a bordered window that I don't like to do. Even though it says borderless. So it's an older Windows setting. Windowed setting. What are we going to go for today on alt advancement? Well, can't do that yet. Can't do that. I'm not even doing bakery. Battle ready. I could if I really want to. Blacksmithing, no. Jewelry master, no. Combat agility. We're at 66 level requirement for this. Might as well pick that up a little more. Go ahead and win companion. So that's going to require 5 advanced ability points for the next level. And I keep accidentally tabbing out. There we go. Alright, there we go. Get myself some crack there. Wait, there must be adventurer's potion I can get for experience. Open menu of adventure. Oh, okay, sweet. Take that. Okay, looks like he's almost done. Okay, so put that in here. Might as well take that too. Alright, and we'll stick that in here. Alright, so we got that. It's taken care of, and we need to get some buffs up. No, I don't got a bucket under my gaming chair. That's funny. Yep, getting grindy with Beastlords. There was some stuff that I needed to catch up on. Just getting all the stuff set and prepared for the game. It's been a really long day for me, too. I'm really, really tired, honestly. but I'm doing good overall. Hey, look at this, Mech Warrior. I turned into a real beast. You almost had a fire? What happened? The Kardashians came over and tried to cook? Oh, that was good. At least someone was there to able to stop it. Is everybody okay? No property damage? Oh, that would do it. That would do it. That's good. At least you prevented something from bad happening, which is good. Did the guy even know what was happening or even noticed it after you pointed it out? Or was he like, oh, hey, thanks? And then went back to his cell phone. Oh, wow. Maybe you should have just had him get blown up. No, I'm just kidding. Was this at work or at a home? If it was at work, definitely protect your job and your position. Oh, yeah, you have to do the right thing. Man, that sucked. So he sat there, I don't care attitude, nearly started a fire or even an explosion right in front of the safety manager. Yeah, that's kind of a stupid move to do. He's lucky he still has a job. I mean, if he was apologetic right after the incident, it's like, oh man, I should have been more careful not using my cell phone like that, and kind of owned up, he would have probably been okay. But to just sit there and blow it off and just not even bat an eye, yeah, great job. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're not the one that got exploded on. Wow. He wasn't the one that had to go through all the stuff you went through. Just imagine the amount of damage he could have done. Or the lawsuit that could have come of it. Yes, you are. Get the badge that says badass safety manager over here. I don't need no stinking badges. Seriously? Oh, shoot. Not that one. Oh, this guy's resistant to a lot of things. Why do I feel like I'm attacking slowly? I know I'm not. Alright, there we go. Wait for the pet to heal up. Yeah, you did survive that, and you went through a lot. I mean, not a lot of people would get through something like that well. And it was very near close killing you, too. I mean, if you were 5 feet closer to the explosion, you probably wouldn't have made it. Yeah, you made it. And you wound up on the top echelon of the food chain in your company. You became a safety manager. And that's actually pretty good. You're right up there with beginning steps of getting into management. Safety manager is actually a good position to start management in. Do really well there, then you'll probably boost up further into the management areas. Well, you scrutinize everything because you've been through an explosion, you survived the outcome, and you had to deal with pretty much neurotic skin, and they didn't even have to deal with anything other than, a slight scare and running out a door. Whoop-de-doo. They weren't a victim of the incident. They were just a witness to it or heard about it. They couldn't understand or comprehend what you went through because they haven't even experienced anything even remotely close. That's how I would sum it up. They don't understand the potential dangers, and yet they're not liking what the safety manager is trying to do, is make sure they're safe and they don't get into an accident. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Now the now here's the question: did anybody help you out of there, or did you walk out on your own? Wow. So nobody even stopped, turned around to look to see if there was anyone on the ground that needed assistance. They all just ran out. Dang. That was real bad. Oh, man. That's pretty messed up. I mean, it only takes a moment or two to look around to see if anybody was caught in the explosion and needed help. Yep. All right, let's see here. We'll just grab that option. And let's see what we got out of that. Advance. So we almost got 5 to go up the next level. Nice. I mean, if I was ever in a situation like that, yeah, it'd be scary, but I would actually take the time, a couple seconds to look around and see if anyone was on the ground that needed help. Wow. I wouldn't use the fire option unless it was absolutely necessary because of their actions. Demoting, understandable, for a short time. You could also talk to the company and see about for those that like the guy that you dealt with that goes like, oh, I don't care, meh, attitude. Have them go through a safety training program before they can go back to work. Yeah, you're gonna have to report to a safety training program for a couple days before you can go back to work. You know, like how the DMV has the safety programs for hazardous materials or handgun licensing for the state. Yeah, that's good. They're working with hazardous and dangerous materials. You should not be messing around with cell phones like that on the floor. Period. That's just asking for trouble. Even I'm not stupid enough to use a cell phone while dealing with hazardous materials. Heck, I won't even use a cell phone while I'm driving unless it's absolutely necessary. And I only use it for GPS purposes. Any phone calls, I'll pull over. Hey, I have a certification license, a CDL. I can't afford to get a ticket with a cell phone to my ear talking because that could potentially make me lose my job. So, no thank you. I'll pull over on the side of the freeway and have a conversation if I need to versus driving. It's a lot safer. No, I wouldn't even use, if I was in your workplace, I wouldn't even use a cell phone on the floor. There's too much hazardous materials and problems that could arise with being distracted. Okay, so the next level is 67. So it's going up per level. Nice. I mean, I have the most precious cargo that I have to deliver to and from where it's supposed to go. And if that gets damaged, hurt, or destroyed, yeah, I'm in jail. You know what I mean? That's sentencing time. And there's no way around it unless the other driver was completely at fault. But if you were to have a cell phone out and you were to get in an accident, it doesn't matter if it's the other driver's fault or not. That cell phone gets you pretty much guaranteed the death sentence, so to speak, for your job. That's good. At least the shrapnel didn't get into your spine. That would have been really bad for you. Spinal injury due to shrapnel? Not something that's nice. Let's see who is watching. Oh, thank you. All right. Same people. Another TT viewer and Mech Warrior. Thank you for watching. Back to the game. Yeah, this weekend I plan on going to other zones for a more variety of scenery, so to speak. Because it gets boring just sitting in this zone and leveling up my AAs. There's other places I can go. That's good. That's really good. I'm glad things are working out for you much better than they were before. You must be a lot happier, too, being in a position of power like that. Not the power, but more like in a position that means more than what you were doing before. Has meaning to it. Well, some positions in a company need to be replaced by those that have been there for a long period of time because they know what to look for and what to do in situations such as like a safety manager. I think an employee that's been around for 5 to 10 years would make a much better safety manager than some out of school hotshot prep manager that came from a expensive I paid my way to get in this job position instead of work their way. That's my honest opinion about it. I'm going to go exploring the area here. I'm sick and tired of just sitting around in the front area. So I'm going to actually dig my way deep into the cavernous depths of this area. Yep, I know that. I never said you were power hungry. What I'm saying is you have respect for the position you have, and you have the knowledge to hold that position because you've been there for quite a while. I'm just saying some snot-nosed preppy prip that went to management classes in some very fancy school that bought his position doesn't really understand their job very well. They'll learn it over time, but usually they take a look at it and go, oh, cushy gig. Yeah. And then that's that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, that's funny. know, someone gets smart with you, take it with a grain of salt. I judge them for their work quality versus if they got a mouth, I'm not going to care too much. But if they have really good work quality, you know what I mean? I rather have that person working where he is than having problems with him. You know what I mean? But if he's got a mouth and a poor work quality, then yeah, there's something that needs to be done. Perfect. That is really funny. He probably won't make that mistake again. No one would want to spoil Prick for a safety manager. They'd make too many mistakes. Unless he was like an Azure Hawk over it, then maybe he'd probably be a Prick and an Azure Hawk. Then people would want that. They'll overlook the prickness. But if he's a prick and did a half-assed job, nobody wants that. You need somebody who needs to do the job right and efficiently. Oh, you're funny. So, did you get any B-Tech battles in recently? Did the Lollipop Brony Squad challenge you to another battle? Yeah, we can go ahead and have Taunt on now. I wonder what they're going to say about that. Gonna have them as guests in your cooking show and have them try out the food, like live audience with real live audience that gets to test the food. And then if your channel gets big enough, you could probably invite other people in to the audience for your cooking segments. Come on, turn around to me. Good. Need the water to heal up a bit. See, I'm being bait for the water to basically heal up by not being attacked. He regenerates health so fast. So now I'm going to have the water pretty much do what he does best. tank for a little bit, then I'll have them stop. Kind of bounce aggro back and forth between me and him. Alright, better stop for now. Water heals faster than he can do damage to the water. That's hilarious. That is great. Oh, nice. How's your Tuesday gaming group going? So a Thursday cooking night and a Tuesday gaming group. Oh, that is hilarious. Kind of expected, you know. Kind of expected. So, on your cooking thing, how are you planning on presenting your cooked meal of the day for the show? Remember, you have to have key elements. First, you have to have a completed dish to show at the beginning. Secondly, you have to show all the ingredients that you're going to make with, then show how to mix them all and all this and that, and then get it all prepped up all the way through that process, and then put it in the oven. As you have that one cooking, you take the finished product you have and serve it to your guests and see what they say. I think that's the steps you want to take. And then you can probably throw in your in between there, you'll probably have like a small break for a few minutes, and you could put in a small break video of a picture of a mech that you want to talk about and what its strengths and pros and cons are, and how you like to use it in BattleTech. You know what I mean? For the tabletop, and why it's a good choice. And then switch off to feeding the crowd. Nice. Napalm missile streak. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Must be a hot dish. Spicy. Spicy steak. Ooh. Made into strips? Into lengthy steak strips? What you could do is turn it into kebabs. The kebab is the missile. That's another way of putting it. See, I'm useful. I come up with interesting ideas. There we go. And it used up the item. And then we'll give ourselves haste. Yeah, why not? You actually might make money by doing a cooking show over time. It's a possibility you actually might do really well with that. Just imagine, within like 3 months, your little cooking segment becomes an actual big thing, and you have thousands of viewers watching you cook for your 15-minute skits every Thursday. While you give BattleTech gaming experience advice on what units are good, how to properly use them, what their roles are, so forth and so on. What type of configurations that are good, stuff like that. Kind of BattleTech tactics, tabletop discussion. And then what you could do is you could challenge the viewers. Say, if you're a tabletop gamer and you think you're hot stuff and are really really good and have a good number of miniatures, how about a battle? Have a battle. Get a battle going on. A cook-off and a battle. You know what I mean? I think that would be pretty interesting. Yeah. First, they would have to cook off against you to see if they got if they're good enough to face you. You know, even if they don't do a good job, or if they do, you still have the battle anyways. Pretty much. Mommy bought all these minis and I still get their butts kicked. Yep. And then you videotape the battle as well as the extra special segment. I think you guys will have a lot of fun. And then you eat all the stuff that you guys made during the cooking challenge, during and after. I think that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, I can't pull that back there. That's a named right there. I so want to get that named by itself, but it never moves from its spot, and it's always aggro with everything else. True. Yeah, soda of choice. I like my Coke. I'll rarely drink a Pepsi from time to time. There's a lot of things I like to do. So, do you think your game store could handle me playing my Tau there? Oh, you're saying I'm a lightweight in 40K? I've almost gone to finals for Ard Boys tournament on the second to last year before they stopped doing it. I got cheated out of the position of going by someone who played slow, and the big problem was is that all the GMs that were there to watch the tournament and judge, all but one walked out because they thought it was only a one-game tournament, and it was a three-game tournament. Kind of screwed everything over. Oh, lightweight drinker? Yeah, that is true. I don't drink. You know that. It was so funny what I did to that poor guy with his orcs. He had two large biker mobs with tons and tons of boys backing him up with killicans and grots, and he charged his two mob squads with his warlord and big mech on bikes right after Oshavan and his big squad that I had for him. And my Tau shot the living daylights out of him on the way in and did a lot of damage, and then shot them on the assault when they charged in Overwatch phase and did a lot of damage, surprisingly, and then proceeded to ultra fist uppercut the orcs to death with crisis suits and drones. Because in that edition, uh, at that point in that edition of the game, Farsight Enclave got +1 weapon skill against orcs and initiative. And it was so funny. The guy was so mad at me. Because I killed his warlord in a turn and a half and beat him down in melee combat. He was just ultra pissed. All he had left was 3 bikers at the end of that combat, which then they ran because they lost morale, and I overran him with Oshavan and killed off the last of his bikers. Then he proceeded to slow play the rest of his army, which was 130 boys, measuring each and every one out precisely, taking his sweet time. His turns were nearly 30 minutes long, while my turns were only 10 minutes. And at the end of the battle, he goes, "Thanks for letting me win. I got to slow play you and cheat you out of your win." I was so mad. I tried to tell the judge, but he was way too busy, and we had to start the next round immediately. I didn't even get a chance to tell him until after the tournament. My last person that I played against was against Blood Angels, and he dropped his first group of Marines right in front of me and tried to charge me as they came down using their abilities. He failed all his charges on the drop, and in addition, I shot the living daylights out of so much stuff that was on the field and destroyed it that whatever he had left in reserve, which was 5 more squads waiting to come down, he deep striked everything of his army at the farthest end of the table and hid in buildings and behind line of sight breaking stuff. He hid from me as I marched across the entire tabletop from long length to the other long length, firing my weapons at max range, trying to hit him. and do damage as they closed in. He was trying to save as much of his army as he can to get the victory, but I was a little too fast for him and was able to shoot a lot of stuff and take stuff out as I came in. By the time that I was actually within range to strike back from his army, it was already too late. Almost all his stuff was gone. 6 turns we went because we were playing fast too, both of us. He didn't do anything other than move a few guys here and there, hide better, and hope to God I couldn't shoot him for 5 turns with Blood Angels. I'm like, seriously? You got to be joking me. The best part was he put his the best Blood Angels character into a Land Raider. First turn, I blew up the Land Raider and killed that guy inside the Land Raider. That's what made him, like, screw up his positioning and everything. And then when he had terrible deep strike rolls on the first turn, or on the second turn when he was able to come in, and didn't get everything he needed, plus he didn't get any charges in, it just broke him. Completely and utterly broke him. He was a broken commander. Oh, with my Tau, I get in your face. I literally get in your face. I deep strike really strong units into your face. I wipe out Bane Blades and what are they? The Giant Walkers, the Crusaders, and the Veridants and the Chaos Dreadnought and the Chaos versions too. Let's put it this way: when I bring my stuff down in on turn 1, because in turn 1 you can only deploy it in your deployment zone, because most of these armies tend to have like giant walkers and all this and that are really nasty, that get across the board extremely fast. Especially knights. Titan Knights, yes. Okay, let's put it this way. This guy is running 4 Titans and 3 engine walkers, okay, in his Titan list. I'm running my Farsight heavy suit group with a Riptide and a what's the other one called? It's been a while since I played. Riptide and oh man, my version of the Titan. And he comes across the table first turn, starts shooting up stuff, does a bunch of wounds to a bunch of stuff, kills a squatter, kills small stuff. I come in with my deep strike. He's already in close enough range for my Meltas. I don't even run Meltas. That's the funny part. I don't run Meltas in my standard Crisis teams. I run cyclic ion blasters and plasma rifles for my 2 main squads that I drop down in. My commanders have the Meltas, and I have 3 of them. 2 of them with flight suits, and 3 or 4 Meltas, or a fusion blade, and a shield. Depends on what I'm fielding. I lost I guess. Yep. And what happens is he comes across the board. I deep strike first turn, right down on him. I take out 3.5 knights and do a couple wounds on his engines, the little walkers, which they are little weapon engines. They're annoying, but they're fast. Second turn, I can wipe out his remaining knights, and by third turn, I have his walkers gone. I would lose about maybe half my force by that time. But that's how I just hammered him. He was utterly stunned. 3 turns is all it took for my Tau list to annihilate 4 knights and 3 engines. He said it was completely broken, my list, but he loved it. And that's at 2,000 points, by the way. Now, with that being said, the next my I play my Tau very aggressively. It's because I have Farsight. My main contingent is Farsight with 2 commanders with flight suits and 3 or 4 fusion blasters. One will have a the the Dawn Blade. The other will probably the other has 4 fusion blasters. The team 1 will consist of 4 crisis suits with full shield drones with 3 CIBs, cyclic ion blasters. What cyclic ion blasters does is it's 3 shots, strength 7, AP 1 for its basic round per gun. The upgraded mode, which you overcharge it, is 3 shots, strength 8, AP 1. But if you roll a 1, the suit takes a wound, or something takes a wound. And that's how that one works. And with the plasma rifles, within 9 inches, within 12 inches, sorry, you get rapid fire, strength 7, negative AP 3 on the shot, which is actually pretty good for our plasma rifles. So what I do is I use certain cards on the drop, which increase the ballistic skill of a chosen unit by 1. The commander also increases the ballistic skill by 1. So I'll have 1 unit that hits at a ballistic skill 5, which hits on 2s with rerolls of 1s and ignores cover and a whole bunch of other shenanigans. So whatever 1 unit I choose to delete is going to get hit by the CIBs at maximum strength and AP. And that usually just does a shit ton of damage because when you overcharge the shot, it's D3 damage per wound on the cyclic ion blasters. So that's equivalent to what? 4 guys shooting total 369 shots apiece, 36 rounds. On an average of 36 shots fired, I'll hit 34 or 33 times. Then I rolled a wound. I will usually wound at least 21 before any rerolls. With the rerolls, because there's another card I use in that, I reroll any failed wounds, and I'll get up to 30 average, 30 to 31 wounds on cyclic ion blasters alone. Now, with that many wounds, he's going to have to make a tremendous amount of saves because that's D3 wounds per one that goes through. In cases of Titans and Baneblades, an average of 18, exactly 18, will get through their defenses. So if you average at say 1.5 per wound, that's an average of 37 wounds. That one group does. So I delete any Titan, any um, um, massive vehicle. I've even taken out a Reaver Lord with my army in 1 turn. And this thing had 60 wounds. I did 61 wounds to it in 1 turn. Otherwise, it would delete my entire army. And what happened is I had my entire army come in on reserve, and I had one guy hidden where the Reaver could not see it. And so the Reaver was basically taking up almost the entire board. I only had 8 inches to deploy my army around it. So that's the deployable area, minus the 9 inches you have to stay away from it. So everything else comes in, deep strike, whatnot, and bam, blew the sucker up. He did go critical, and he killed everything but Oshavan on the critical explosion. So I won with only the commander on the field. Because when a Reaver Titan blows up, it has a chance to go mega super critical. He rolled a 1 to wound my commander on the critical. He wounded everything else and wiped it off the face of the map because the reactor went boom. But it was my commander that survived. If he would have rolled anything better than the 1, we would have been tied. Oh, that my Tau list is a scalpel. It's actually pretty unique. I have not seen anyone online or in any gaming store that I was playing in at the time do a list like I have. They would always go heavy on the Titans or the other stuff, and heavy on other things, but they never really did anything close to what I did. There were a few that did some things close to what I did. Even the kids at the game store want me to come back and play more. Oh, my force is pretty balanced. It's specifically designed to just cut through shit and just hammer the crap out of people. It's like a scalpel. The best way to put it is it's like a surgical scalpel, and it has many facets that it can pull its strength from. Whatever I decide to delete per turn is deleted. I can guarantee 1 to 3 unit deletion a turn. It really depends on how they're statted out for 40k. And how many points you're going to be fielding. I mean, if you do a 2,000 point army, you're going to probably get away with 1 assault, 3 heavies, 2 mediums, and maybe 1 medium and a light. About almost a unit and a half, maybe a little more. Squad and a half. A lance and a half, that's what I'm thinking. That's about 2,000 points, if I recall the conversion. I can't field millions like you can. Oh yeah, that would probably be annoying. Basically, it'll be depending on how skilled the pilots are. You'd either hit on 3s or 2s, and you rend on a 6, meaning you automatically do a mortal wound on a d6 when you roll a 6 for wounding, and then you do your normal damage. How much is a single sniper unit worth? What's it have? You can probably do the conversion on points and stuff in head. Oh, so these are like considered to be they're basically considered to be a Baneblade in value, from what you're saying. So basically, you're running a top-end Knight or a Baneblade or two. Technically, you can probably get away with 3 stripped-down Baneblades at 2,000 points. Your your main sniper cannon would probably be like a massive blast cannon that does tremendous amount of damage. It would probably be 2d6 wounds it would do to a unit if it hits. It would probably have a range of probably 140 because it's considered to be artillery or a sniper. And that puts it in range of an Earthshaker range and all that. To do 2d6 damage, it'll do probably a bonus boost damage to non-Titan units, which would probably be another d6. And if any of the dices roll a 6 to wound, then it would do 3 mortar wounds base on top of the damage it would do. It's a pretty nasty cannon. So it only has the sniper artillery piece? Or does it come equipped with some heavy bolters? Or equivalent machine guns? For like anti-personnel defense. Okay, so it would have... Okay, so this is what it would be equipped with in Warhammer 40k. You would have 2 heavy bolters, 2 hull-mounted heavy bolters, probably for the front, or twin-linked. 1 twin-link heavy bolter. That'll be a frontal weapon. Then you would have 2 sponson melta-guns. 2 sponson melta-guns, so that way you can use them. And then... Actually, heavy melta-guns, most likely. 2 heavy melta-guns, 2 sponson heavy melta-guns, 1 hull-mounted storm bolter. Your toughness would be 9. Your wound count would be 26 average. And your main primarily weapon is a direct line of sight. So that means you have to actually see the target. And draw a line of sight to the target. 142 range, which is 142 inches on tabletop. Strength 10, AP -4, single shot blast. So that'll convert to, because they don't use blast templates anymore, it'll convert to 2d6 against Titans in damage. Adds another d6 to non-Titans, which means you get 3d6 damage against a single target if you hit. Then if you roll a 6 to wound, you automatically get 3 mortal wounds to the target, in addition to whatever damage you do. And because it's sniper, it probably gives a negative 2 to lookout sir rolls. So instead of them making it on a 2+ for a leader, they have to make it on a 4+ or higher. Meaning it's really difficult to look out sir if you do, like, if you can actually get a called shot to a character model. That'd make it really nasty. Two cringers. Don't want to deal with that. I think that would be the closest equivalent to I think that it would count as for 40k. You know what I mean? Now the thing of it is that I can guarantee I can kill one of those in a single turn with my deep strike and do half damage to a second one. So I can do turn 2 by turn 3, maybe turn 4. I'll probably destroy all 3 of those. Depends on if I have to wait till turn 2 to deep strike. But that means I'm taking 2 rounds of full firing effect from your snipers onto what I have on the ground, which I'd have to heavily rely on my invulnerable saves and cover to hide from you. It's when my deep strike comes down that you're going to really have to focus on it. Deep striking is allowed. It's part of the game mechanics and rules. The only thing is I got to be 9 inches away from you. That means everything is in half range to shoot you with what I have to field. And it also gives me a chance to actually charge. But honestly, I wouldn't try charging something like that, even if you hit on 6s. But I might. You'd have to use a battleship. If I play against you, definitely going to have to bring in an Armada Tau battleship. Give a run for your money. 2 battleships just battling it out in the above orbit. Oh yeah, I would give you a hell of a match right back. I think honestly, I think at the end of the day, I think it would be equally statted out. If you really think about it, it's going to come down to tactics and how we play. Your biggest strength would be keeping your three snipers distanced as far apart as possible from one another, so that way you have time to shoot me for a turn or two. Oh, I have to charge headlong into battle with the force I got. It's a mid-range force. Tau are mid-range fighters. Mid to close. With weaponry. You suck at melee, though. And I mean big-time suckage of melee. If you had enough points to field one. Which I highly doubt you would. And oh, by the way, flyers that are in the battle zone can be hit on sixes. So your battleship can be shot at by my ground forces. But there is a piece of technology that some of my forces do incorporate, which is allows me to hit flyers on normal ballistic. Oh, that would be rough. That actually would be rough to deal with that. What's the charge range in inches on those? 3 to 4 hexes? That's terrible. 3 to 4 inches? That would have to be converted into 40K, because we're using inches, not hexes, because we're using a ruler. Well, the average charge range is 12 inches. They're specifically built for charging, right? Using those weapons, right? They'll probably use cavalry rules. So you move 12 inches and charge 12 inches with rerolls of ones on the charge. Two-shot strength 5 weapon that'll be considered an autocannon in 40K. That'll be strength 5 -1, 2 shots. So they're basically a cavalry unit. So I would consider them a cavalry unit. Um, what they'll be a cavalry unit definitely with at least equivalent of 3 to 4 wounds apiece. If it was actually a model, since it's a mech, we'll probably give it 12, 13 wounds. Consider it more like a walker, so a cavalry walker. So you would have about 13, 12 wounds average, with the leader of the group being 13. Um, and they'd have an autocannon and a power weapon of some sort, whatever it may be. Then it would be running with cavalry rules. So basically, you move 12, you assault 12 with rerolls of 1. That's being generous. How much do they cost, by the way? This will determine the wounds, actually. How much does one cost? Because about 120 is to 150 points is walker points for base walkers. Oh, nine. No, I'm asking for one of them, not a group. One is 998 points. Wow, the point system in BattleTech is way, way, way different than I'm used to. That's quite expensive. Oh, it's battle value. Hmm. What category is it in? Light, medium, assault, heavy? A light, okay. So, the best way to put it, I'd have to say, we're not going to look at the battle value, we're going to look at the category it's in. So, if it's a light, that would be 10 wounds for a light with a point value per model of 225. You would have, uh, since all mechs are going to basically be strength 8 primarily, except for the heavier ones. So light would probably be strength 6, from strength 6 and up. So your light would be strength 6. It would have 10 wounds. It would have move 12, assault 12, um, reroll ones. You have a twin linked autocannon, meaning you reroll ones. Actually, you reroll misses, not ones. So you reroll missile misses. You have a base tack of 5. The damage per hit is 3 damage per hit. So you do 3 damage per hit. You get 5 attacks. You can do a total of 15 wounds if you hit all and wound all. Your autocannon re-rolls its shots. It's strength 7, AP 1, 2 shots, range 48, I believe, on the autocannon. No, 72. Range 72. And your toughness would be 7 base. Your ballistic skill would be 4. Your weapon skill, actually, your ballistic skill would be 3, but your weapon skill for melee, because you're specifically a melee, would be 4. Your initiative for that would probably be because it's a large machine, initiative 3. Most mechs would be initiative 3, except for assaults would be initiative 1, because they always go last. Um, mediums would be initiative. Uh, actually, initiative 4 for lights, initiative 3 for mediums, and heavies would be initiative 2. Kind of do it like they do in BattleTech. A medium mech would have 15 wounds. A heavy mech would have 20 wounds, and your assaults would have 25 wounds. So each grade goes up little by little. Napalm Missile Steak Boy. Well, I could probably break down different mechs for 40k for you if you want, and probably give you a point value. Yeah, those lights would probably be about 225 points apiece. Because it's a little more expensive because it's considered to be more of a cavalry unit because of how fast you can move a charge. The nice thing about the cavalry units is as long as you're not going through difficult terrain, you can always reroll your ones on difficult terrain tests if you're not going through like woods. Yeah, you can outcook me. I know that on a lot of things, but there's certain things I can do a really good job on. Don't count me out. I'm really good with pastas, some Mexican dishes, and a few treats here and there. Nothing really too fancy, but homebrewed. Like my 7-layer avocado bean dip, which is really delicious. I got people wanting the recipe so much. Then I got a meaty Gonzalez pasta sauce that has a sweet, but it has a slight spiciness, but a sweetness to it that's so delicious. Yeah, I know you cook regularly. I cook weird things. Yeah, you would. Checking out, see who's watching. Commander Root, thank you for the watch. Another viewer, another TT viewer, thank you for the watch. And of course, Mech Warrior, thank you for the watch. Probably. Mine will probably be a lot easier to attain than yours. You got more experience in that field. If it helps with the greater good, then they'll let you keep it. The greater good of their food dishes. But yeah, when I play my Tau forces, I get a lot of people who get really upset with the way I play Tau. It's not because I'm doing anything wrong. It's because it's really vicious. It is tournament level vicious how I play it. And I just don't know how to play any other way because I'm dealing with a lot of assholes in my area that min-max and do everything they possibly can to, how do you put it, win. Whatever it takes. Even trying to bend the rules just a little bit. Trust me. And they always bring their new BS armies for me to face to see how I handle it and how well it stacks up against it. Because for some odd reason, if they can beat my force with it, which depending on how well they play and how good their rolls are, which does happen from time to time, it's equivalent to mid-tier tournament um, strength. Oh no, they go well and beyond min maxing. They go to I'm going to order miniatures that are not actually produced by the actual company for the game, but is a subsidiary company that is using experimental rules for the game. And I'm using these experimental rules and these miniatures to substitute for standard forces, so that way I have an incredibly good edge against you. It's just brutal, and it's really rough. I don't mind playing against stuff like that because I get to see all the shenanigans and BS and figure out ways how to beat it. Because if I get beat once or twice by the guy with the same army, the third time, the person will not beat me. Because by the and they realize the third time I face a force that I have not beat yet, I will beat it on the third attempt. And then every attempt after, I will continue to beat it because I know how to pick it apart by that time. All right, where am I at? And I have completely lost track. Okay, so we got more points. One v one Tiger Dig Dug. I got the maximum haste on with bestial alignment. This is just broke. Oh man, he's doing a good number. I wish I had bestial fury on too. That'll max out my damage massively. Well, I haven't played much MechWarrior in a long time, but I can pick it up pretty quick. That's the nice thing. I'd have to say a Knight Commander, if you were to put it into 40k terms. You're technically using knights to fight with. That would be the proper um, destination. You definitely be a very high priority target to take out. There's target priorities for Tau. No, actually, Knight Commander is a pretty high. Sorry, Knight Lord is the version of that. But I'm talking about up there, pretty high up. But in 40k, the Knight regiments and the uh, the Titan regiments would be the primary focus targets to delete first in a war, in a battle, followed by the armor and the Space Marines, then the usual grunts. True, there are many tactics that they can employ, Kalyan and Manka, depending on which suits the purpose of the fight that you're going to be engaged with. There's only two things that you can't get salvage rights on. It's my only one Titan and Commander Farsight. They're actually really nicely modded models. But anything else, I don't mind because I have a lot of multiples. I even got stuff off the table you can choose from. Again, I have over 30,000 points worth of Tau to field. I can field any type of force I want. Mm. You mean a prisoner of war? Pretty much. Pretty much. You got that right. Oh, the shenanigans we would pull against each other. Be stuff of legend. I'm an excellent commander at the Manka, the art of the killing blow. I know a few Kalyan tricks, but I prefer Manka. There we go. Most likely. Especially if you're bringing in battle mechs that are converted over to 40k standards. Jeez, that'd be a hell of a fight even for me. Those battle mechs are just really OP. They make most of, depending on what you're fielding, would make some of the Night Lord Night mechs, even from Forge World, look like child's play. I don't field tanks. I field crisis suits and large walkers. And I bring the pain to people directly to their face. If you can keep me at a distance, then you might have a chance of beating me. Oh, that took a lot of attempts. You don't actually have to call shots on torso and head. All you have to do is just hit. Remember, in 40k, it's just hitting the target is what's important. You don't have to call locations. So basically, your wound pool is basically considered your target locations. So when your wounds go to 0, your unit is destroyed or knocked out of commission. Oh, I see. You're just kind of fancying it up. Fair enough. Oh, there's people. Let me say hello to you guys. Oh, what? Oh, okay. There's 4 here, and okay, they must not be on the list that I can see yet. Trats. I wanted to say hello. All right. Tau don't use soul stones. And and you can actually booby trap terrain. And then there's also orbital bombardment if you ever wanted to do that. I will have units. The way my force works is I have targeters, which are my spotters, which use marker lights. I have 2 squads of those. I have 3 squads of fire warriors, small, with 2 leaders with them. Then I have 2 crisis suits with aerial jetpacks and fusion blasters. Those are the commanders. Far side is commander. 2 large units of crisis suits, which is my main bulk fighting force. Riptide and a Storm Surge for extra firepower. And that's about it. May not sound like much, but it is quite a bit. It's an elite force, basically. A very elite force. What are we, kindergartners? What's that supposed to mean? Like a old wine, best to be enjoyed and sipped slowly. Oh, it'd be interesting. Oh, I know. I've done some really dirty things with my lift forces before. What was really funny is back in the old days when the old codex, when the Storm Surge had the ability to stomp in last edition, I stomped Bell Forgehand, which is the Dread Knight. If I'm not even getting the name correct for him, Bjorn Fellhand, Fellhand or Bjorn Fell. It basically is a named walker for the Space Wolves. He had a bunch of wounds still left on his walker, and my storm surge only had 1 wound left, and I got a lucky 6 on the wound, which makes it my attack do pretty much a extreme amount of damage that cannot be ignored by invulnerable saves, and it was just basically straight up kill if I were to roll on this table. Anything but a 6, his walker would have survived. I rolled a 6, which basically says you remove 1 unit from the game, and basically you stomp it into oblivion. And I got that 6 and took out his walker, and my storm surge only had 1 wound left on it. He was so mad. That got me kicked out of the what was it? The Games Workshop store in my area, because he complained to high heaven and hell to the manager about my gameplay and game style, that the store manager kicked me out of the place for just beating him. And he was smug throughout the whole thing, using dirty teleportation tactics to teleport and charge my units immediately with a special character that I'd never heard who could do that. So a Forge World character, and he was just being a complete asshat to me the whole time. And then when I got the leg up on him and I turned it around and I kicked his butt right at the very end, he went crying to the store manager friend of his and pretty much got me kicked out of the store. I didn't know about it until next week when I went back to play at the store. Manager pulled me aside and goes, "Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to tell you you're no longer welcome in the store." It was really BS. This was an official Games Workshop store too. I guess my play style and how I play kind of aggravated the regular gamers, and they didn't like it because I was actually pretty vicious. I played hard, and I had fun. Yeah. Damn it, I gotta go. Yep, I'm not gonna make it. Regeneration for the win. Nope. Ah, damn. I left a little too early. No, I really didn't care. You have to remember that I played with a lot of asshats, and it's like, whatever. There were some stores I couldn't go to because of people complaining about me from other stores, and when I went to those stores for the first time, they go, "Oh, you're that Tau player. We don't want you here." There's only like 2 or 3 stores that could play in my area after some people went around and just damaged my reputation for no reason. And it was usually the people who were complaining were how do you put this? Were the really well-to-do players that were winning a lot of the competitions and tournaments, and I was starting to win those as well, and I was basically taking their free money pots, and they had a click group where they would allow certain people in that click group to win at certain stores at certain times, so that way they can fund their miniature purchases, because they were really good players, no doubt. I will say they're really good players, but they were jerks, and I mean of the high level caliber, and snobby and snooty. And I was putting them in their place. whenever I could by beating them and actually getting rankings in these tournaments that we paid money to play in. And it was like $10 to play in the tournament, and you get 3 rounds, and the top contenders get certain amount of cash prize and store credit and stuff like that. That's how it was. And they were there to get the first 2 spots. And I started getting the first and second spots kind of regularly against them, even with them going again, pretty much ganging up on me in the tournaments. I'd still sometimes beat them pretty good. And so they had enough of me, and they started going around just complaining to other stores about my army and my playstyle. And they never even seen me, watched me play or anything, and they just go, "Oh yeah, we don't want you here," because they were playing at those stores and making money off of the tournaments to fuel their, gaming expenses. So they literally had a no-loss little gambit of 6 or 7 stores they go to every month. Oh yeah, it can be. It can be really toxic. I got all my stuff back. And the problem is that when you got people that have been in a niche group for so long and they're literally uh, running things to the point where new stores come up and they pretty much go and say, well, you need to do things our way and you'll get a lot more customers, is ridiculous. Well, the thing of it is this group has ingrained themselves so much into the stores in the area that they can't get rid of them that easily without suffering business loss. And right now they can't, take that. So I kind of got out of 40K for the last year and a half because of them. I couldn't really go anywhere other than to certain stores that they always hung out around, and they were using me as a punching bag to test their armies, and it really annoyed me. Because I really didn't get to play anybody else because nobody else wanted to play against me. So I had to play against the same people over and over again. They would never play the same army more than twice because they knew after the second time I've seen that army played, I knew how to defeat it. All I had to do is watch someone play something, and I will figure how to take it apart. Oh wow, I forgot to summon the pet. Damn it. I'm a skilled player in 40K, but I'm not saying I am a master or anything like that. I know my limitations, but I do love fighting against stronger players, people who know their game. Oh, the skill I used to summon my corpse was Recovery XP, which is an ability you get later on in the game, around 65. It allows you to summon your corpse and regain 100% your XP loss. So I gained back everything I lost in that fight. All right, let's head back. Wow. I try to always be polite and help people learn from their mistakes. When I play when I play somebody who I know is not very good at the game, I'll like after the battle round, I'll talk to them about the game and ask them some questions and see why they were thinking that way, and then explain to them they could have gone this way, which would actually done a lot more, or this and that. My opinions on the battle tactics as we go, and it was helping out all the younger players and the inexperienced players quite a bit. And because of this, and the way I was, kind of play teaching, um, it was really, really upsetting the status quo because they loved using the less skilled players as dummies and test just to screw with them, and I really didn't like that. And that's what this group does, is they really don't teach anyone how to play. They just beat the living snot out of them and say, oh, learn by example. And they give the wrong type of teaching to people to play the game. And they teach them to play in such a way that it's just, I would have to say, disgraceful to the game itself. It's to them, it's about just crush, laugh, and roll, and that's what they do. They play to crush. They don't teach you anything. They show you bad habits and bad skills and bad gameplay, and it's just when I play against them, I like fighting their armies because it's really rough and tough, and it's a challenge to figure out how to pick that army apart as you play. But for their personalities and what they do, usually, I hated it. I was like, God, I can see why they kept winning all the tournaments and the other stuff, and just doing really well and getting money placements in the local tournaments that were in the area that they were making their bank off of for free miniatures. They'd spend their $10 and get like 50, 60, 70 for winning placement, depending on how many people were there. You see what I mean? And they were doing this in 5 to 7 a month. Think about it. If your average haul is $50 game credit in a store, and you go to 7 different stores, that's basically funding 3 months worth of winning first place to get yourself an entirely new army of whatever you want. And they had a group of 6 people that would rotate who gets first and second. And you can tell by their gameplay, and I never said anything about it, but I know for a fact from the way they played against each other, they would play rough for the first 2 rounds, and then the one who's supposed to lose would make calculated errors that they would never make, and they were just small enough to start tipping the tide, and then eventually they would just give in towards the end. They did it in such a way you wouldn't notice it unless you're watching very closely. And you can tell when one person was building an army and getting things for their army, he'd be the only one to get the first place for a month or two, and then it would switch over to someone else. So they were very, very good players that just were, you know, taking advantage of the situation of people that didn't know how to play really well, or they were skilled and they were just, ganging up on them using some of the store managers were friends of these people. And there were two stores that I went to that I was allowed to go to, and I played tournaments there. I would notice I was always pitted against the top three players every tournament for 2 months straight. And I'm like, why can't I play against other people? I'm always getting the same people. Well, the number of people we have is what we got, and that's the way the system rolled it out for you. We'll try to get you with somebody who is not like them sometime when we can. You know, they'd make excuses that it was the way the system was rolling up things, though, because of the number of players and people, so forth and so on. In all honesty, every excuse I heard from that for those 2 months that I played was just utter bullshit. There were a couple times when a random was thrown in, but it was always one of the top five people that I knew that would usually place in the top three. And they would do this. And this was during the time when they were both they were both building up two people were building up armies to play. After they got all their pieces and armies, then I noticed I'd go up against two randos and one of the top five. I would always be pitted up against one of the top five in those stores, while they were pitted up against nobodies. And that was because they had very good, how do you put it, relations with the people that worked at the store who were running the tournaments, so forth and so on. They've been in there for a long time. They've been around for a long time. And it was always stacked. It always felt stacked at certain stores. There were like 3 stores that I went to that didn't feel stacked, and it was actually fair playground. I'd rarely ever get pitted up against them, and there would only be usually maybe one or two of the five that would usually show up with 3 or 4 at a time at other places. So they probably didn't like going to that store. And probably for good reason. The best gaming store that I've ever been in was many, many years ago out in California called Dark Star Comics. And the fact that I can remember them after 30 years goes to show you I had a really good time there. And I remember a lot of my gameplays there. That's where I had the planetary defense game in Battletech against 5 different bidding clans that all 5 took a shot at the planet, and we beat them. It was insane. Total of 32 clan mechs we destroyed against what was it? 9 battle mechs that the one guy was fielding, 100 vehicles in 2 groups, and 3 command mechs and 6 LRMs carriers. We took down 32 mechs of clans. ranging from lights to assaults. That was a hell of a match. Huh? How did I pull him? There we go. Well, the one of the newer stores that popped up recently, um, Vault, the Vault. It's called the Vault here. That little group tried to pull their shenanigans and kind of creating a clique there, and they were told not to come back. And they're doing really well too. The owner was really nice. He saw what they were trying to do, and I warned him about some of the shenanigans. And my warning actually took hold, and he saw exactly what I was noticing. After a little bit of investigation, he decided to pretty much tell them, "You will not have a click here. You're welcome here, but you will not have a click here. We will not allow clicks to form at this store." And he put his foot down. They decided not to go back there too often, except for when tournaments showed up. And they didn't win as much as they did uh, at that location as they did at the other locations. So it goes to show you, um, any anywhere but there, they were, thriving. But when they came there, they had a lot of problems. Yeah, I agree with you. But I mean, what can you do? At the last Rogue tournament I played, which was a couple years ago, I placed, was it 13th place out of 137 people, which wasn't too bad. I usually place in the top 10, usually ninth or 8th when I play. But I didn't do too well in one of my matches. But anyways, one of the 5 that I don't see too often play was in the final round of the tournament with the with another one, and these two had a huge issue with each other before even the match started, because they didn't like each other, but they still were in the same clique. So this one guy, um, have you ever dealt with somebody who is a rules lawyer that would use the rules in such a way that it would basically benefit them and everything they do, but limit what you could do? Have you ever dealt with somebody like that? They would question everything you do, see if it's in the rules and the way it goes and stuff like that. Well, the opponent of the other guy that was in that group, and they knew each other, was a massive rules lawyer. It was so bad in his rules lawyering that he was stalling for time. He was causing arguments on every little thing possible to make it hard for his opponent to do what his army could do. Questioned the ability of specific models when it came down to a very important situation, such as, oh, that's an Eldar Wraith Nightwalker. It doesn't have jump jets. It can't get up there on that floor. It doesn't have it in its profile. Excuse me. Yes, it does. It may not say it, but it can still get up there. It can, by the rules. No, it specifically does not have this type of equipment to get, and on and on and on. It was to the point where the rules lawyer pissed the judges off so much that the judge literally said, any more complaints out of you, you lose, and you're kicked out of the tournament. The guy had to shut up for the last round of the match to finish it in a timely fashion. It was so funny. So the rules lawyer did not win first place, thank God. But it was really terrible. He was actually told not to come back for the next tournament. He was not welcome. That was his second place prize plus the cash reward and other stuff that came with it for second place. So many players were so mad with that guy because they were watching it and they were just getting angry with the guy because of how he was trying to manipulate the game in a specific way so that way he could win and wasting time. It was really terrible. Some of these players competition can become really, really, really terrible people. It can happen in any competition though. I bet. That's why he was actually kicked out of the next tournament, Renegade tournament, that would be held the next year. They literally said, "You're not welcome back next year." They they had him up at the podium where the top three would stand, and they were awarding the prizes. They gave the third place runner his prize. They gave the first, and then they went to the second place runner. They gave him his prizes, and then, on a side note, you are not welcome back at the next Renegade. Please don't bother signing up. Please don't bother complaining, and please don't bother coming back for next year. Your actions are well warranted for this decision as a special prize from all the judges in the tournament. So all the official DCI judges basically came to a consensus, a unanimous consensus, and said he's not welcome back for the next year's tournament. And the guy would just stand there, completely look shocked and visibly angry. And they even said before he would say anything that if you complain about it or cause a scene, you'll be not welcome back for the next one after that. So he had to keep his mouth shut as he took his prize, stormed out angrily, and left before the first place winner got his stuff. It was so funny to watch. And part of the conditions, he couldn't rant about it online. So I don't know what happened after that. And everybody was clapping and cheering as he was stormed out. I mean, if you piss people off that much, and they're clapping and cheering, that the official judges and the people who run the tournament literally publicly humiliate you up on stage when you got your prize and tell you not to come back. That's just classic. That was the highlight of the tournament right there, is telling him off. Oh, that? I remember that. People doing that. How did he circumvent the overheating issue with the Vanquishers? Did he just forget to roll it? Or not mention that he needed to roll it or something? Ah, so he used a little known fact about the Vanquishers. You'd have to know that the Vanquishers had an overheating option when you did certain specific things. And he just did not roll it or say it that he had to roll it. He just skipped it. Yeah, that's typical. Face floor to the floor. Makes sense. That is so funny. Wow. Did you hit him with a spaceship? You really love your turn 2 spaceship kills. Ah. All right, Mech Warrior. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the nice chat. I had a lot of fun talking with you. Reminisce about old days here for myself. All right. Let's see here. Whoa, I got lag. Oh, that was really weird. All right, there we go. Got attention. Paragona Spirit. Good timing on that. Both me and my pet benefit from that. All right, where are we on AAs? We almost got our second AA for the night. All right, there we go. He's gaining more health just by sitting there than he is anything else. That's hilarious. You know, that's actually kind of interesting. The regeneration rate of my water is so high that I could actually just have it stop attacking and just sit there, and it'll regenerate itself naturally faster than the NPC could do damage to it. Huh. That means no more having to heal the water, because the water just has to sit there and do nothing for like 20, 30 seconds while I beat on the mob. That is adorable. Let's test that theory out. Might get me killed. So we had to do it around 60 or less percent for it to work correctly. All right. Alright, so then we have it stop. Now let's watch it. Okay, it's already regenerating. Huh, yeah, I am right. I don't even have to heal the water. It seems it pulls the water out of combat for itself and will regenerate at full regeneration rate. Oh, wow. That is actually a cute little way to use the water. Question is what level does that happen at normally? Can't possibly do that at lower levels, can it? Hmm. I gotta ask my other friend that just started a Beastlord to see if that works. That way you don't ever have to heal your water in combat. You can use it towards mana only. It's pretty gnarly. So let's try it again. So we're at 40. Because of the slow, the water generates more health than what he can do. Look at that. Wow. That's actually adorable. So I don't even have to heal the water. I just have to let it sit once it gains aggro to heal up. That is amazing. In itself, that is literally amazing. Now this is really, really slow to do it, but I can generate mana back up to full by just using a slow, having the water stop attacking for a little bit, and then keep going back and forth like that. Huh. That's really interesting. This makes Beastlords even more overpowered. In a sense. So let's use this trick. Let's not cast any dots, and then just do the stop attacking, heal up regeneration, while just keeping slow on and beating on stuff until I get full mana. See if this works like the way I think it will. I should be gaining mana every battle. More than what I use, of course. Okay, then we have it stop. Yep, the water's gaining health. Huh. It actually is working. Alright, there we go. So we stopped that. We're at 49. We're at 38% for ourselves. This is ridiculous. There we go. And attack. I have to admit, this is really broken. I like it. This is actually going to help out a lot knowing about this. I can literally have no downtime whatsoever. All I have to do is just stop my water from attacking, and then he'll regenerate enough health. It probably won't work in every zone, but it is working in this one pretty well. See? Look at this. It's just regenerating right back up. Okay, and then we have him attack again. Already up to 50% mana recovered. Alright. Now stop attack. Oh man, yeah, it's slow. It's about a quarter. It's about half slower than what I'm normally doing, but it allows me to regenerate what I need to fight with without having to actually stop. It's not bad. It's a good little tip to share to some Beastlord friends of mine. See if they'll notice that. Yeah, golems have so much health. Got enough aggro? Yeah, even on this blue. It's working quite nicely. Yeah, it was until I got aggro. Okay, let's see here. Hmm. Yeah, that little trick works really nice. Oh, almost forgot about this. $200 alternate advancement points earned. Nice. So, level what again? Level 68. So this is my last one I can get for this. 30%. Not bad. That combat agility, once I got it up quite a bit, when I got it up past around 8, 7 or 8, I started noticing a huge difference. Hey, let's see who's watching. Another TT viewer, thank you for the watch. Commander Root, thank you for the watch. Get affiliated now, thank you for the watch. Thank you for supporting me, guys. Yeah, the little trick I found just recently is basically have your water stop attacking the target. Let it sit right in front of the target and keep getting beat. Watch its health. It goes up. Goes up more than it goes down. So as long as the water has the aggro, you can sit there and beat on the mob to your heart's content while it heals through the damage it's taking. And I don't have to waste mana actually healing it. This is a little broke. Attack of the cats. It's a cat attack. Cat stack attack. that was fun. Alright, let's go sell all the stuff that I gained. Inside the bottle. Playing the Storms. I think I've been in there for quite a while. Might want to check the level on that. Ah, over here. Plane of Knowledge book. Kind of like this area. Plane of Knowledge and Plane of Tranquility. Plane of Tranquility gets you to the combat zones pretty easily. Plane of Knowledge right next to it. Just click, boom, you're there. In a lot of other starter city zones, you had to go like 2 or 3 squares over to get to a book. Usually 2. But to get anywhere, you got to go a lot of different places on average. Wow, that's a good amount of money. Not going to complain about that. Jeez. And that there, too. Wish I had more of those. He's going to be happy to see that. Okay, this is my first one of these. Oh, wow, that's actually pretty nice. Alright, let's go through. Don't care about that. Goes in anything. There we go. That looks sweet. Alright, let's see here. What's his name again? His friends list, I believe. Oops, I forgot to add him as a friend. Alright. I'll need to do that when he gets back on again. And give him that nice little item. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Take the rest of this to the bank. Got some pretty good money there. Hold that for him there. Throw that into here. Okay. Alright, I got nice leather bracers for him, so when he comes on, probably Saturday or Sunday, I'll give it to him as a parcel. I think he'll like that. Oh, what I'm referring to is there's a Beastlord that's started new on this server, and I've been giving him some gear and stuff. So when I see him again, when he comes up in the chat room, I'll definitely be sending him the upgraded gear that I got for him. He's not level yet to use it, but he will be eventually. Alright, I want to thank everybody for watching us play some EverQuest this evening. It's been a lot of fun entertaining you going through. We gained a couple AAs, some really expensive ones, 5 points apiece. That's not bad. We're almost maxed that out for our current level, which is great. So, with that being said, tomorrow evening will be Battletech. It'll start at 7, go to around 10. And Thursday will be Iron Harvest 1920 plus. Come watch me play those games. Check them out. Enjoy them. I hope that you enjoyed watching me play these games. I thoroughly enjoy playing them. And if you like what you see, please follow. The more people that follow, the more people that watch will help me get towards partnership. And if you would like to maybe support the stream and the channel, feel free to donate or subscribe. Mostly subscribe, because then that shows people that, hey, they're watching and they like what I see. Again, thank you for your support, everyone. Thank you for your views. That's very important to me. Have a good night. Be safe. Be well. Sylph Talon out.